Man said we only play big games.
Well, one of us actually are involved in big games. And one of us are just looking to survive.
Wait, is he talking to me?
No, I'm just speaking.
Ah, okay, okay. All right. Well, I mean, with that, I'm assuming you're talking to me. Shit. Yeah. Well, what are you trying to say? Right? That Chelsea's just looking to survive, eh?
To be fair, Chelsea's in the cup too still. To be fair to them.
Well, no,
Hang
I think
on.
he was referencing Champions League more so.
No, I'm referencing everything.
Ah, okay, okay. All right. Well, listen, man. Don't worry about us, because you already know what champions are made of, right? When it's crunch time, that's usually when the heavy hands, right, start to come up, and we start letting those punches, right? So it's
Mm.
all good, bro. We can give him the first round, the second round, third round, all the way to the 11th round. Once it's the 12th round, yeah, man, that's where Chelsea FC goes for the knockout blow, bro.
12th round.
Yeah,
Damn.
12th round, man. So until that last round, man, you can never count us out, is what I'm saying. Yep.
Hmm. Interesting.
So history has shown, actually. So I'm not just speaking out of my ass here. And you reference big games before we hit the record buttons. Well, guess what? Ch- Chelsea has played some big games to win some even bigger trophies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'll leave it at that.
So you the big game that you won, what you're talking about is you guys won your cup beating Barcelona and that was it?
Oh no, 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 even before that, bro.
Oh, so we just keep going to the past.
Even before that. No, but I'm telling you, that's the DNA, right? You got to look at the DNA of the club, right? So, and that DNA, no matter right?
The
Because yes,
DNA of the club. CJ, you hearing this? The
hmm
DNA of the club.
yeah. I mean, you guys have definitely think what CJ has said about Chelsea about like they show up in big games. You can count on them to show up in big games versus big teams. So that is in fact part of the DNA. Right? Just like at Real Madrid, it's part of the DNA to supposedly right win the Champions League, right? So every club has something in their DNA, right? So I'm curious, what's in the DNA for Arsenal?
We are the FA Cup holders. We are the only team to be invincible.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And so what you're saying this year that's gonna resurface?
I mean, you already know what my prediction is. We have a bet on it. And I put my
Hmm.
money where my mouth is.
All right,
I
all
said it
right.
from my prediction. We're winning the league. And you
Hmm.
challenged me. You're like, hey, are you going to win Champions League? And I said, yes.
Well, listen, man. At this point, I think group stage performances. Kudos to you guys, right? You guys, I think is the first time that you guys have won six in a row in the group stage in Champions League or something like
Oh, correct.
that. But again, right? If all competitions were won in the group stage, I'm pretty sure a bunch of teams would have a bunch of trophies by now, right? But the most important is the knockout, and that's when things get even tougher, right?
Will you guys make the knockout stage?
Oh man, again, man. Listen, you don't gotta worry about the champions, bro. Because champions, they find a way, bro. They dig deep. We will dig deep. We will claw our way, bro. If we have to, we will.
Claw your way against Karabag in Kazakhstan?
Listen, man. At the end of the day, what matters is lifting that trophy. Everything you do up to this point, right? Up to the final game, yeah, it matters for helping you get there. But if you don't win, then you see what I'm
But it's
saying?
funny. We're winning with having arguably the first 5 months of the season, 4 months of the season, the biggest injury crisis that we've like a bigger injury crisis than last year. and we're still winning.
Yes, but the question is, right? It's not are
And
you winning now? It's
but
will
hold
you
on.
win it?
But
Will
you're
will
but
you lift it?
your point of when will we win it, will we lift it is all these players are coming back and they're going to be coming back January, February. When to your point, that's when things get serious. That's when the knockout stages come. And we're doing this with Christian Norgard respectfully playing center back.
See, but that's not. I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's as simple as you make it seem, right? Because again, we have seen a bunch of times in competitions at the highest level, you have teams that, yes, they perform well. Mind you, again, if I factor in the fact that you guys don't have yet your full squad, but when those knockout matches come, right? When that knockout round comes, I'm telling you right now, bro, it's gonna be about more than teams on paper, right? It's about that what that word we use that
But when was the
Ricky
last time that Chelsea was relevant in the Champions League?
again,
Because we did
Ricky.
it last year, and all these, not on paper, not on this, like we were there. So I'm just
Yeah, but
not understanding where.
okay, so now let's go back to the DNA, right? So if I say that the DNA of Chelsea is to win, right? I can say, well, we've lifted that trophy because it's in the DNA, right? Because we've been through the grit. We've understood. We've been David versus Goliath in those matches, right?
Hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's what it takes. Mind you, right? It's like I said, it's all fun and games now. But once those knockout stages come, right, and you face a Real or something, right, and then you start to understand, right, that some teams, like, they're willing to go that extra mile to lift that thing, right? And I think for you guys, right, if you guys do lift it in the future, that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take to be champions. It's not going to take the team that you have now on paper. Look, no, it's going to take even more of that grit, even more of digging deep to look to outdo your opponent on that day. Right? So
So you implying that Arsenal can't do that?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when that time comes, Arsenal FC, right, those 11 players, that coaching staff, right, they're going to have to make that decision on that day. That's what I'm saying, right? So no one knows, right? Except for once it comes down to that day, to that game, right? And players are running tired legs. Maybe it's 0-0. Maybe you're down. Maybe you're up, right? All those decisions that factor in to how that game, the decision is going to be when that final whistle blows is going to come down to those 11 men, their coaching staff,
Hmm.
right?
You're
So yeah.
essentially saying we have to keep passing tests.
Well, of course, life is constant test, or else you turn up like Mo Salah and you think you've passed the exam the last year, and now suddenly, well, shit, I already got my certification, Mr. Arne Slot. Put me in. Why aren't you playing me?
It's funny
No,
that
but
you say that because it
mhm.
almost sounds like you're talking about yourself.
What
Oh,
do you mean?
we won the FIFA World Cup first time. We're the greatest team. Oh yeah, you still got to pass tests, and you're
Of course,
failing tests. You
of
are
course.
constantly failing tests.
But again, right? Just like who won it last year? Who won it last year?
No, no, but I'm just saying it.
No, wait,
Don't
no,
change
no,
the
no. Just
subject.
wait.
Don't
But
change
who
the
won?
subject because
Who?
you
No, no.
guys are constantly failing
I'm not.
tests.
I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is, right? The team that won it last year did not perform well in the group stage of the Champions League. Right? Let's make that point, right? And that's why I'm saying that
Because they had all the injuries, my friend.
that's fair. That's fair. But again, right? In tournament style competitions, right? These things can happen. Don't like, and that's the thing, right? If you think like that, right, you're becoming like a bit complacent in terms of your performance, which is something that you should never allow yourself to do, right? Because yeah, it's fair in games, you're winning, and then you start to think, oh man, we're indestructible, and then suddenly you get to the knockout stage, right? It's 1-2 games, and right, the game's not going how you go, and suddenly you find yourself in an uphill battle, right? So again, I see what you're saying, but I think for Chelsea, right, it's just we have to find our footing at the end of the day. Mind you, I'm actually glad we lost in this game as opposed to a Premier League game because I feel like right we do have you could say a result to spare. in the Champions League in a way as opposed to in the Premier League, in my opinion.
Do you?
Eh, yeah. Given the fact that our next two games, I forgot who is it Paphos or, but I forgot. And then after that, it's Napoli, which Napoli doesn't look too good this season. So yeah, we had
Wow, I'm surprised you're saying that actually. The only teams that have points games to spare in the Champions League right now would be probably like an Arsenal and Bayern Munich. The teams are literally sitting at the top. I haven't checked the standings. I'm looking at the moment. I'm trying to see where that last loss leaves you. It leaves you in 13th place. So I don't in the Champions League, I don't think you guys have any room to for games to spare. That's a bit ignorant to say. You know what I mean? You need to
no
finish in the
more
top
so.
eight.
Well, no, top eight if you want to be like in, but you can still proceed without being in the top eight.
Of
Let's
course, yes.
yeah,
You
and that's
can't,
But
what
but
I'm
you're
saying.
making your
ideally,
road harder.
Huh?
You're making your road harder,
yeah,
and then
Yeah,
ideally you
that
want to
you're
finish.
gonna potentially face, like a Barcelona again. You're gonna potentially face, a
that's fair.
Leverkusen, a
And if
PSV, and it's
again,
it's
I don't disagree if that's what it takes, right? If that's the road ahead, then we'll deal with it then, right? But I think that this loss would to me would be better suited in this competition as opposed to if we had lost another Premier League game, in my
But why
opinion.
do you say that? Because you're in the title race in the Premier League? Like you're not in the title race in the Premier League. So why can't you afford a loss in the Prem? Is it for the
Uh,
top four purposes?
I'm saying for everything, whether it's title race, it's top four. I'm saying for everything, right? Uh, again, right? This concept of like you guys say title race, it's, there's an objective. At the end of the season, you want to get right the amount of the highest points as possible. You want to right. You want to finish first. So long as that's still a possibility, right? You cannot waver. You cannot start to look at who's ahead and who's to the side of you. No, like you're a professional, right? You go in and you keep performing. So it doesn't matter now, right? If we're X points off, like game by game, you show up and you play and you look to get results, and that's it, right? So it's not a question of, well, are they in the title race or not? No, like it's, hey, we still have this much time left. You guys are going to show up and you guys are going to perform. So, knowing that, I'm saying it is better, right, that those points were not taken in the Premier League, right?
Interesting.
Whereas I feel like it would have been more ground to cover if you see what I'm trying to say, right? From the objective as opposed to in the Champions League where you can still get by qualifying even if you do not finish in the top eight.
hmm.
Okay, so let's say for a second here. So if you don't finish in the top eight and you finish in the top 16, that means two extra games.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you don't finish in
Or
the
a return and away leg when you
hold
say
on, well, which okay is top 16 that qualify automatically, right? Or how am I? Maybe I'm confusing this.
no, I think top eight qualifies automatically.
Top eight qualifies automatically. What's top 16? Isn't there something about the top 16?
I believe it's some kind of it must be like you play a game to
A qualifying round, essentially.
yeah, something like that. Because
Okay,
essentially the next round is a round of 16, right? So
and
16.
then yeah. And at what point are you out? It looks like you're out as of 25 spot onwards, right? The top
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
and my point is you guys are closer to that then because you guys are on 10 points. 10 points. And the team in 25th, which is, from 25 onwards, you're automatically eliminated. The team on 25th is on 6 points, and there's still a couple of games to spare. Okay, two more games. So maybe
Mhm.
you guys, yeah.
There's two more games,
Okay.
and then right, I checked the opponents, and right, those aren't opponents that
Mm,
one is weaker, the other one is a Serie A team, not in form. So based
mm.
off of that, right, that's what I'm saying. I think in my opinion, it's better that the result was lost there than in a league game.
Okay, so you want to essentially you're okay with two extra games in January when the squad is already stretched and fatigued and tired. Like that's what clubs want to avoid. I'm telling you right now, Maresca and the players and the staff, they'll want to avoid that
Mm,
for
right.
fatigue purposes. For it's the jeopardy on it too, right? Why would you want to play an extra round of games if you can avoid that scenario altogether? You save legs, you manage minutes and fatigue. All right, nobody knows that better than Arsenal based on last season. You limit the amount of games you have to play, and not just for fatigue and for fitness and injury risk purposes, but also for, again, the jeopardy on it, right? You qualified in the top 8, 16, whatever the hell it is nowadays. You bypass a round. Whereas, if you have to play that extra round, who knows who you can even draw? It's jeopardy. It's risk.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, right? And again, like that risk, and the calculus behind it is simply given the fact that what we don't come into that Champions League game to lose. You see what I'm saying? It's not like we purposely plan to lose, but given the result, right? If you and I'm pretty sure if you were to ask Maresca, what would you rather have lost in the Champions League or lost another league game, right? You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
It's like
mm.
pick your poison at that point. And I'm pretty sure the consensus would be that we would rather avoid dropping more points in the Premier League as opposed to the Champions League, right? Where there's a certain form of damage control. Yes, in the future, right? You're gonna play those two games, but to keep your chances, right? If you're spreading the risk to maximize returns on both sides on those two competitions, I think that's the optimal outcome.
Hmm. It's interesting.
Interesting take. Interesting take. Well, what we can't say is one of us is on top of the league, and the other is continuing to struggle. And I am here for it. I am here for it.
Hey, you know what they say? Football's a humbler. Hey, Merdad,
Mm.
it seems like a long time ago that Arsenal was supposed to get their funeral, and things were looking up and bright. Since those talks, since those Chelsea fans, a certain Chelsea fan that shall remain nameless, was talking with Chest all those weeks ago. They're winless in four since that game, and since those talks, and since that week. So it's funny how things happen in football.
I just know it's it's a long time coming. We've suffered a lot, and I think there's a lot of work left to do, but I just find it hilarious. I just find it hilarious. But anyways, enough about the so-called Centurions, the so-called jerseyless squad, the so-called you know Enzo Maresca hot seat team, and the so-called Caicedo's better than Declan Rice, and Sancho's better than Saka, Palmer's let's not talk about those negativity. Let's talk about positivity. Let's talk about a player that escaped the the bus, the squad of 55 players, 65 players. He didn't change his sport. He didn't change his profession and start taking performance enhancing drugs and go to be a track star. No, 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 no. He didn't do that. He came to the Arsenal and he showed Chelsea why you don't sign an Alejandro Garnacho. He showed Chelsea that when you actually give a player a chance to play and you don't force him to change his profession because he's not getting playing time, he scores bangers. And that person is Noni Madueke. Yep. Laurent, you're going to hold that smile. You're going to hold that grin because you know, Alejandro Garnacho will never do that with his stupid haircut and you know, he will never do that. But Madueke will. And that's the
Yeah,
type of
for how
player
long?
that
For how long?
you're for how long? Till the rest of the season, my friend.
All
Till
right,
the
so how
rest
many
of the
numbers?
season.
All right, just give me because you like to predict. Take out your crystal ball and
Yeah.
tell me what his GA is going to be for this season.
What is GA is going to be for the rest of the season
Yeah,
across all competitions or
sure,
just Champions
sure.
League?
Let's do cross all
Across all.
combine
Let me
everything.
just get
Yeah, let's see
the
what. Yeah,
current stat.
yeah, let's see what is it at right now, and then you know,
So currently right now he has 3 goals and assists across all competitions.
okay.
Across all competitions, you're asking me, look at the crystal ball. Okay. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
9. He's gonna have 9 goals and assists by the end of the season.
So 9 goals and 9 assists.
No. You said goals and assists.
Oh, okay. So you're okay,
He's gonna have 6 more.
bro. Is that good? No.
Yes. As a player coming off the bench, contributing 6. Yes. He has a goal a game in the
I mean,
Champions League.
listen, I was hoping you at least put it double digits, bro. At least say the guy's gonna get 10 if you're hyping him up
Sure.
like you are
There we
now.
go. Sure. He's gonna get 10.
All right, bless. All right, that's what I want to hear.
He's gonna get 10.
That's
Is that what you
that's
want to hear? He's gonna
that's
get
what I want
10
to hear.
across all competitions.
All right. Well, shit,
What's
man.
Garnacho gonna get?
Nah,
Mm,
man. Listen, I can't even defend that, man.
okay, there we go.
I can't even defend that.
Okay, there we go. Madueke scores a brace, something that Garnacho will never do. Um, and Martinelli, damn, all my comments about his passport, I think I hit a nerve. The man is Brazilian. It only took Gabriel Jesus to come back, and Martinelli's performing. That is what we like. I don't know about you, CJ, but that is what I want to see from Martinelli. Like, if you're gonna have your fucking head down, hit it one time. When you beat your man, hit it one time. Don't just pass back. You got your head down. You know where you're at. You know the lines on the pitch. Fucking hit it one time.
Mm.
Couple other things before I pass the baton to you. Christian Norgard filled in at center back to give Timber a rest. That was kind of surprising. I did not expect to see that. I think he put in a shift. You could see that he was leggy. You could see he was leggy. I think he got a yellow card in the game. MLS got some more minutes into his legs. Zubamendi, I think Champions League is a little bit easier for him to control the midfield because it's not as physical.
Mm.
Like I said, Martinelli, I think he's remembering how to be Brazilian. Welcome back, Gabriel Jesus. Long time coming. Obviously shaky. He looked off it, but I'm happy to have him back because he gives us something different that Gyökeres, Havertz, and Marino don't give us in the number 9 position. And I think he's going to push the left side. Even though we got Eze there that can play out there, I think he's going to push that left side, and I think he's actually going to get the best out of a Martinelli and a Trossard. And the other thing, and I know Laurent's going to love me saying this, before I actually make this comment, yes, Laurent, you are right. This is the first Arsenal side in history to win their first 6 Premier League Champions League games in a row. But the big thing, and CJ, I'm going to pass this on to you after I ask this question. The big thing for me is what's going on with Gyökeres? Another underwhelming performance. Um, and when I was just browsing social media and reading things here and there, is it that we create more chances when Mikel Marino's on the pitch, or do we create the same amount of chances with Gyökeres, but he's just not there and thereabouts? There's a disconnect, and I don't know what it is, but it's starting to concern me. I don't know if you feel the same, but that's what I'm just gonna
Wow, I
leave it
swear
on.
we said this literally last podcast, and you said that you weren't concerned at the time. This
Because
is a few days ago.
I thought this was a get right game for him, and I didn't see that. There's nothing that I saw in this game that I'm like, okay, I can see what you're doing. All the other games, I'm like, okay, you're getting back into shape, blah blah blah. But I'm like, this is your get right game. He wasn't there.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, we got Wolves coming up, which is a really good next opponent, but I'm a little concerned.
Wow. I say things change quickly in football. Eh? Literally, the last podcast, you're like, no, I'm not concerned.
Well,
And
I'm like, you're facing Club Brugge. Not to say that Club Brugge are bad, but like defensively, like I thought he was going to be able to get at them. It's a less physical, it's a less physical game in Europe. You're away from home. You don't have that added pressure on you. You can just go play your game. Madueke was cooking, but like he wasn't there. Like you were not there. Martinelli was cooking. Yeah, it's concerning.
yeah, it's safe to say that I think you start him on the weekend, and if you can't score at home against Wolves, like yeah, then that big red panic button, that panic, like that. I forgot that game what it was called all those years ago. But that big red button that you press when there's trouble, like yeah, we might have to start hitting that panic button. Wolves at home, there's no easier game, man, for you to get your confidence up and get a goal. I would start him. I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I would definitely start him on the weekend because he needs it. A couple of things you could say in his defense, but the defense lawyer is he's running out of things to support his client, truly. But we're still fighting for him a little bit. A couple of things you could say in his defense is that Burnley game before he got injured, right? If you remember, he that was his best 45 minutes of the season. He was really starting to come into some form. He scored a goal. He was actually linking play, spraying some passes, and then he had to come off at halftime in that game, if you remember. And I feel like just when he was clicking into gear at that moment in time. Then he gets injured. Then he's out for 3 or 4 weeks. That doesn't help. A new player coming into a new league, when you're trying to get used to your teammates, when you're trying to get used to the style of play and get used to the rhythm, you feel like you're just about to hit that form, and then boom, you get taken out of the team for one reason or another, right? In this case, it was injury. So that's what's unfortunate for him in this case. Now he's coming back into it. He's building up his match sharpness again, as well as trying to get back up to this pace and the speed of and the tempo of the team. So that is, one sort of defense you can give him. Who knows how he would have been performing and what stage he would have been at if he was still playing these last 3 weeks or so. So it is unfortunate in that sense. But I mean, yeah, you still got to kick on, right? Like you said, this is a Club Brugge who was pretty poor on the day. Jesus came on for 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and did more and had more touches on the ball in that short period of time than Gyökeres did in 60 minutes. So, and some will say, we need to create
Sorry, why
chances
was
for
that?
him.
Why was that he had more touches on the ball? Like, what was different in Jesus's movement compared to Gyökeres?
I think it's stylistically they're two different
Mm-hmm.
players. Whereas Jesus is a guy who will go looking for the ball. Gyökeres right now, and even in his sporting days, right, he's a player that waits for the ball to come to him as opposed to being the one to go and find the ball. Jesus will pick up the ball from in different pockets of space. He drifted out left a lot this game. Traditionally he'll drop a little bit deeper to collect the ball and run with it. Gyökeres right now is kind of just waiting, right? And that's also the sign of a player who's lacking a bit of confidence, right? You're waiting for something to happen for you as opposed to you making it happen. I feel like that's what Gyökeres is not doing at this moment in time, because I do believe he is a striker that has good movement. We've seen that. It's
Yeah.
just right now it's not happening for him. And we reference back to last game, the Villa game, famously in the second half there, where we all saw it towards the end of the game. I think it was in the 90th minute where Declan Rice is on the left channel and puts that ball low and hard into the box. And you're thinking that ball is just begging
Mm-hmm.
for a striker to attack that. And Gyökeres, if he's fit, maybe if he was confident, if he was healthy, that's your bread and butter as a striker. You go and attack that. If he didn't even go in to attack that and be in the right position at that moment in time in that game, and again, those are the chances that you wait for, right? The people who have been defending Gyökeres have been saying, "Oh well, he's not getting chances. There's not chances being created for him." There's only so long you can use that excuse. At some point you gotta go and make it happen for yourself, and then at the same time, we expect you to be in those positions. And that Villa game where Declan Rice puts that ball into the box, where are you? That's exactly what you're
Mm-hmm.
intended to be. That fox in the box, and and you're not there in that moment in time. So there's something wrong there. And again, I'm gonna wait till this weekend, right, when we play Wolves, to see what his performance looks like then. Because you're expecting that again. He got 60 minutes in this game. He's now fully back from injury. I expect you to kick on, man, and you have to go and do something against Wolves. At least a performance. Don't be hiding. We want to see you get some touches on the ball, link up a little bit. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree though. I said it last podcast that I was concerned. So I said it back then, and I stand on that now. I think he needs something, man. He needs a lifeline, and I think maybe Jesus coming into the team and Kai Havertz coming into the team when he returns fit could also help boost his confidence. To be honest with you, because he strikes me as a guy who's competitive as well, right? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't shy away from that in that sense. He's just in a little bit of poor form at the moment and lacking in confidence, right? So hopefully he still comes good, but we'll see. That was probably the main disappointment on the day, I guess, if we're being honest. Otherwise, good performance from the boys who were out there overall. I think the biggest thing is the fact that we didn't pick up any injuries, hopefully. And the squad players, that's what we need. We need our squad for, right? Our squad players come in and do the job. Norgard at center back, we all thought he was going to play. We just didn't expect him to play center back. But
Yeah.
it's good that he did. He put in a good performance. The likes of Noni Madueke and Martinelli can come in and do their thing. Technically, at this moment in time, if everybody's fit, those two wingers are on the bench, right? Your starting wingers, right? If we have a cup final tomorrow, for example, let's say if you're looking to pick your best team, you're probably picking Saka on the right and inform Trossard on the left. So technically, Martinelli and Noni are your backup wingers at the moment, and they come in and perform in the Champions League. They did it against Bayern Munich as well when they both got on the score sheet on that day as well. So that's what you want from your squad, right? And that's why I think it's true. Like you have every right to be confident that we can win the Champions League as well. And at the moment, the question is, what is Arsenal more equipped to win? Because we have a great squad for these sort of competitions, for a tournament, long testing competition. Maybe a few other teams don't have the luxury of resting and rotating as much, whereas we can in these tournament games. And tournament teams tend to go the distance. Sorry, not tournament teams. Sorry, squad teams with great squads tend to go the distance in tournaments more so than teams that have to keep playing their same 11 week in, week out, right? We look as far as the League Cup. Why has Man City and Pep won it for so many years? It's because in that competition, they have the squad to rotate players, right? Whereas, other teams may not have the luxury of a big squad to be able to rotate players and still kind of progress through cup tournaments. So, yeah, I think that it's serving us well at the moment. And it really makes me question, what do we have a better chance of winning truly at the moment? Like both competitions we're going really well in, to be honest. Top of the Prem, top of the champs. And for as long as we stay first in the group stage, that what they've changed this year in terms of the ruling is that if the higher seeding, right? Like American sports now, finally, where it's like the higher you finish, right? Seeding wise, if we finish first, we will now have the second leg, in the knockout rounds, we'll have the second leg at home, which gives us an extra advantage. And those psychological boosts can make a big difference, right? Which is compared to last year, which is ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't implement this last year. We finished higher in seeding than both a PSG and a Real Madrid, and we had to play both of those legs, the second leg, away from home. You know what I mean? Like we played the second leg at
we were the higher seed,
and we were the higher seed, which is ridiculous, right? So no one should have to tell them that's what needed to be done. But anyways, they did it this year, and hopefully that stands us in good stead, because I think that'll be important, right? When we go into the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, I think that could make the difference, and that could be the edge when you're playing two teams that are comparable in quality, right? When you're playing a PSG or you're playing a Real Madrid, the home advantage and being home second leg can be that big boost. I think that will give us the edge that we need, because people are already saying, that it's hard to beat this Arsenal side twice, right? So one-off knockout games, it can happen. You can lose, right? We've seen it even with the Chelseas of the past. Chelsea won their first Champions League against Bayern Munich in a one-off game, right? And that can happen. You can win games in a one-off, but when you have to play this Arsenal side twice over two legs, very difficult. That's also what gives us the edge, because we're so strong and so solid defensively, and we've shown in this tournament already how strong we are. So to play us over two legs and beat us is very, very difficult at the moment. But especially if you give us the second leg at home, the way our home form has been this season, it's I think that really stands us in good stead to do well in the Champions League, man. I think we have a really good chance. I don't know about you, man, because it's like, who do you fear truly at this moment in time in the Champions League? I mean, our toughest test is supposed to be Bayern Munich. We already shown that we can beat them. Real Madrid, we've shown last season that we can beat them, and we've gotten better this year. And Real Madrid and arguably some would say have regressed this year. So do I fear them if we meet them? Not really. PSG. Maybe they're still a good side, but am I scared? No. Barcelona, no. Who were we really scared of? Maybe a Man City. Just
I would
they
say
tend to have
Man
our
City
number.
and Bayern.
Yeah.
Like over two legs, Man City and Bayern. Like I don't really I think Madrid are too sporadic that I don't think they have like the stability to be able to, I think they can score, but I don't think they can keep us out, and I think we can keep them out.
Yeah.
Barcelona, same thing. Like,
Yeah.
listen,
Some of the
Liverpool.
Italian sides are good,
Yeah, like
but
Inter, sure, we're gonna face them in the new year. We just need to get a draw in that game and get 3 points against Carriot in the last game to essentially secure top spot because we need 4 points out of the next two games. And Carriot have them one, and they're bottom
Maybe
of the
some would
table.
say, oh, sorry to cut you off. I was
No,
gonna
no,
say
no.
maybe some would say Liverpool would be a
I
team that you're
was gonna
concerned with just because
say,
of the European heritage,
yeah,
right?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say Liverpool is always like any Premier League side. I think just because of the added um, pressure of the like them knowing us and having already played us
yeah,
maybe once or
yeah,
twice, I think you have to give respect to them. Like, of course, I think we would beat Newcastle. I think we would beat Chelsea. I think we would beat Spurs. I genuinely think we would beat Liverpool over two legs, but there's more of an added um, worry that I don't think I
Oh,
would
I know exactly
have.
what you're saying.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like Man City's a different beast. Like Man City by itself is a different beast. But all the other Premier League teams, and again, Laura, I'm not trying to take a shot at you, but I think over two legs, we would be able to dominate. Not to say that I still want to face any of those teams, because again, that Premier League factor, the fact
no,
that there's
yeah,
going to be that extra added pressure. Um, Bayern, you have to give them the respect just because of their European pedigree. PSG, I think they're going to click into form. I wouldn't want to meet them, to be honest with you, unless it's like the finals, because again, like they're a good side. Not that I worry, but they're one of those teams that it's like, okay, can we bypass them? If not, then we'll just go through them.
yeah,
It's not that
I
I
agree.
worry. It's you have to respect the competition, and I think they're like for me. So it's essentially everyone who's top four. Bayern, PSG, Man City are my biggest worries because I think Inter, Atalanta, like while they are very experienced, I just don't think they have the legs, man. Like we saw it last year. They don't have the legs.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it should be interesting, man. But you know what they say, man? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So it's kind of like bring it on, really, right? We're at the
yeah.
stage now. This is what we've been built for, to not be fearful of anybody that we come up against, really.
And we've only given up one goal, man. It's quite remarkable. So the
Yeah, it's
teams that we
impressive.
faced, like giving up one goal. Um, so but quickly rounding up the other Premier League sides before I come to Chelsea, Spurs win back to back at home. Like this was this was a game that I called a banana peel, and it did not turn to be a banana peel. They beat Slavia Praha 3-0 at home. Mohamed Kudus is going to be a big problem for them because he's gone for AFCON. And I think Spurs suffer a lot because he is not only a creative player for them, but like I don't know how else to say, but he's a very dynamic player. He did it at West Ham, and now he's doing it again at Spurs. And I think that's going to be a huge loss for them to not have him for over a month. I don't know how
Hmm.
you guys look at it, but I think Mohamed Kudus is a huge loss.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Um, Mr. Piana,
Yo. Ah,
go on, because you're listen. I'm just quoting your own manager. He said he's worried. He's
Is
worried
that what
with
he
the
said?
performance. Yeah. Post-match presser. He said he's worried. So what do you what happened? You guys came back and then you just gave it away.
I mean, for one, I can tell you right now, Atlanta looked like the team on the front foot throughout the majority of the game. I mean, they were at home, and yeah, no, they seemed like they were up for it, right? They were creating, they were looking to create. Whereas us, right? Again, I feel like times too flat. Going forward, man, like I think I mentioned this in the group chat, but bro, sometimes that possession football is actually hard to watch. Um, yeah, no. I if if you're saying you're worried, well, shit, change something, you know? Um, because there's too many times where right? We have the chance to create those passes, break lines, and we're just not doing it. We rather do the slow build up, right? Move up the pitch, and sometimes that's not what works, right? Uh, I think the whole possession tiki-taka thing, right? It was good for a certain era, in my opinion, right? I know that you guys would consider yourself as a possession style team, right, with this little build up. But in some games, I don't think that's what's required, right? Even when I looked at the Real Madrid game versus City, and even some other games, right? You see, sometimes it takes a ball from your right back or your left back, right, a diagonal,
Mm.
right, to a winger, and that's it. And suddenly now you're on, right? Like as opposed to looking to build that up all the way until you gain ground, right? So, um,
You got the
in my
lineup wrong though, bro. Come on. Like you're playing Trevor Chalobah right back. You're playing a Ching Pong. You're playing Batishil. Batishil is shit.
I think,
He,
well, again, right? Who else you play? Tosin? You see what I'm saying?
but I mean, you've spent $2 billion and your back line. The only person that I would say has locked down a spot is Kukurea.
That's fair. But
But
other than that, I think the other one he played, Chimpong, that kid, every time he plays well. That's one thing I will say. So I'm surprised he hasn't played as many games because every time I've seen that kid plays well. And the one thing too you like to see in your center backs is your ability to carry the ball, right? The position has been revolutionized. It can't just be you defend and that's it, right? You have to
Mhm.
have that ability to push the ball forward, right? To gain ground. And that kid, right? He's shown that he can do that in this game and in previous games. Whereas guys like a Tosin, right, or a Badiashile, either they don't have the skill or they're too afraid to even try to do that, right? So
so then why doesn't Maresca give him a run of games? Because I feel like if you look at the top four sides in the Premier League, or even if you look at the
mm,
top four sides in the Champions League, I could ask you both and be like, hey, who's their back four? Any given game. And I'm pretty sure you can name the back four for Arsenal, Bayern, PSG, maybe Man City. Man City's a unique one because they like to rotate, but you can pretty much name their solid back line. And I feel like for Chelsea, you can name Cucurella,
mm. I
but
mean,
the but the
right
but the
back
other
at
three,
say Gusto.
yeah, but is it
But even
Gusto or
that's
is it Reece James?
mm,
You know what I mean? Like there's no like there's I feel like what Chelsea's lacking because when I was watching the extended highlights, I think what you guys are lacking in that back line is a connection. Like none of the players know where each other are gonna be. Like you don't have that partnership because one day it's Tosin, one day it's Batashil, one day it's Chalaba, one day it's Fafana, one day it's this, one day it's that. Like if you have to rotate, it's one thing, but like who is your four? That is your four. You guys don't have that. That
mm.
that that's the issue that I see. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
no,
see it the same way, but for me, like the reason why I like your attack is because there is a clear connection with Pedro Neto and João Pedro forming. You can see that they can play back and forth together, and Enzo is starting to play in that, and they're starting to get a rhythm together, right? But there, but then there's a disconnect as soon as you start moving back. As soon as you get past Caicedo, it's a crapshoot. Unless you go on Cucurella's side, then he can hold it down. But if you're on the
mm,
right side, you're like you guys are fucked.
right, right. I mean, again, I think also with the Badia Shield, I'd say, yeah, it's a weird one because again, right, that a Chimpong, I think due to age, he's not getting as many games, right? I don't think the manager trusts him to start or to play some
Hmm.
games. Where funny enough, like I said, every time that kid has come on, he's performed well, right? He has shown that there's a certain hunger, there's a certain ability to his game. If we move to the right back position, I know with that position it's more so because if you notice, right, Reece James was in the midfield,
Hmm.
and that was simply due to the fact that Fernandez was pushed up, because Palmer didn't play, right? But if Palmer plays and he's in that position, then Fernandez by default is now occupying the position that Reece James is in, and then I guess you slot Reece James back in the right back position, right? So I mean, there's a bit of that, right? So I'd be more concerned with having two consistent center backs, right? I think because I think that'd be um for me something that's more important. And two, I don't know how you feel about it too, but I think in general, if you look at the defensive, the back four, to me, I think the center backs are I think have greater value in defense for me than the left back and the right back.
because they
Uh,
control the middle. They can
yeah,
dictate.
exactly.
They
Yeah,
can dictate and they can control where the player is going. Like you guys,
ex
unfortunately, don't have that.
yeah.
That's a, like I get the age piece that you're saying with Ching Pong, but like okay, like but if he's performing, he's performing.
Yeah, no. So, but listen, if I were to give you what I would want, Kukureya, a Chimpong, Fofana, and then I guess you could have either James or Gusto in that position, right? Depending on if Fernandez is there, and sorry, if Palmer is there, then Fernandez drops, then you put Reece James,
To be
right?
honest with you, though, I think having Reece James in the midfield makes you guys defensively more solid versus an Enzo.
I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. But if Palmer plays there, where do you put
You put
Fernandez?
Palmer on the right and you put Neto on the left because Gittins isn't it, Garnacho's not it, like
But
Guiu's
yeah,
not it.
I think Laurent, you're concerned about where you said that last time too. Like, where do you put Enzo and all this? Like, sometimes honestly he may just have to hold bench. If Palmer is truly the guy in that number 10 position when everybody's fit,
Mm,
and there's certain games where Reece James, right, more games, more often than not, Reece James is more solid on the defensive side of things to play alongside Caicedo in a double pivot. And you're questioning, well, where does Enzo play? Well, he may just have to hold bench, to be honest with you. And I know, that's a big financial outlay that you guys put on him. He's a £100 million midfielder. Surely he should be in the team. But, again, gun to your head tomorrow, if there's a cup final you guys are playing in, um, who do you start? Where does everybody play? And obviously, surely we're all going to say Cole Palmer has to play in the 10. Probably he's
mm,
shown already in the cup finals that he can be that guy. So he plays in the 10, and then it's a matter of who plays along Caicedo because he's for sure a shoehorn in the team. And it seems like to me, again, I'm going based off of I haven't watched you guys as closely this season as I've watched you in the Arsenal game for obvious reasons. And yeah, it seems like Reece James, he's a captain. He's more defensively trusted. So that to me sounds like your best midfield three when
mm.
everyone's fit. I don't know if you think the right decision would be to drop an Enzo beside Caicedo, um, but it sounds like to me that their best midfield three would be Reece James, Caicedo, and then Cole Palmer just in front of them.
Mm.
I don't know if you disagree.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a very strong point. I'm not gonna lie. But I will say this. Can I see Fernandez, sorry? No. No, I just can't see it. And as strong as a point as it is, right? Again, I can't see it. I think for one reason, because I don't know what again, right? Because you have to also manage the personalities, right? The players. You don't want to get, like these Mo Salahs running around rampant, right? Because you already know how that goes. And shit, Fernandez looks like one of those characters, if I'm being completely honest, you know?
He won't be at Chelsea much longer.
You don't think?
No,
Mm,
he'll end up
okay.
at a Madrid or an Atletico Madrid or something.
Mm.
Is
But
he is he overrated? That's the question I have. Is he overrated?
I mean, I believe I think when he got big was due to that World Cup, right?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
he hadn't done shit prior to that.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, usually, again, the World Cup competition, that's usually for a lot of players where you make your name, and right, you get a lot of players get big moves from World Cup tournaments, right? So I mean, it's no surprise there. But I'd say he has shown qualities, but again, for me, my biggest worry, and I mentioned this before, is on the defensive side, right? And
Hmm.
I cannot justify having a midfielder in that position that just is not willing to defend, right? Not willing to put his body on the line, getting lazy, allowing players to bypass you, right? Because if you're gonna do that, then just at that point you have to put him more so in an attacking role, per se, where you can kind of get away with being complacent
Hmm.
of sorts. So yeah, but
All
it's tough.
right. Another tough game. We talked about this. Arne Slot. Arne Slot got the backing from the board, and he dropped Mohamed Salah out of the whole squad. He didn't even travel, and he got a late winner. And you saw in his face he looked relieved because he knew if he hadn't won that game, the questions would have been, "Well, you didn't bring Salah. Do you think he would have made a difference?" But they won, and the only question out of this game is, have we seen the last of Mohamed Salah in a Liverpool jersey? Yes or no?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I don't think he plays this weekend. You guys saw the comments after the game, essentially Arne Slot alluding to Salah has to apologize. Arne Slot's not going to say anything
Wait, what game did Salah say would be his last?
this game, Brighton,
Brighton.
which is this weekend, and I don't think he's going to be in the squad.
Hmm, damn.
He
I
doesn't
guess
strike me as the kind of guy who's going to apologize either.
Fuck that! You think I'm apologizing to Arne Slot when I'm the reason why he won the league? Are you insane?
Here we go.
You,
So hold on.
oh,
So by
oh,
that logic, do you think that Aubameyang shouldn't have apologized or like changed his mood for Arteta when Arteta dropped him? Because Aubameyang won Arteta the FA Cup.
wait, sorry. Ask that question again. Sorry, I wasn't
Do
paying
you
attention.
remember? Do you remember when
Yes,
Arteta dropped Aubameyang?
yes.
And that was a controversial one. It's like, hey, like it was for disciplinary reasons, right? I guess something kind of similar to this, disciplinary reasons, whatever the case may be. And at that time, Aubameyang could have stood up and said, "Hey, I won you that FA Cup, and I'm the reason why you probably still are in a job when we were in poor form."
But the
So
difference is, sorry to cut you off. The difference is Aubameyang was a captain. He was consistently showing up late, and there was a young squad that would looked up to Aubameyang, and it wasn't anything that Aubameyang said like outwardly, right? It wasn't like him being like, "Oh, the coach hates me," blah blah blah. It was like a disciplinary thing that it's like, "Yo, like you showed up late. Like you said that you were gonna go travel and you didn't make it back in time, and you just kept making excuses, and it wasn't the first, second, or third time that he did something like that." I do see where you're coming from, and I do think that maybe that thought process
just from
maybe
the angle of like, hey, like you said, Salah, look what he's done for this coach, right? Should the coach therefore then give the player a bye because of who the player is? He's done so much for the club and this and that. So I was just kind of challenging that angle.
yeah.
I
Mm.
still think that I'm honestly, again, I'm not even a Liverpool fan, but I think that was the right thing to do. I think I'm glad that the board backed not Arteta, sorry, backed Arne Slot in the decision to drop him and leave him out of the squad entirely. I truly think that was the right thing. And I'm happy for him and the team that they still got the result in the end because, yeah, it's just to this day, I stand on it. I don't, I think what Salah did was crazy and still unjustified. And to me, you got to stand. I said it before the decision was made to drop him. Arnie Slot's got to stand on his on his two legs and have a spine and have a backbone and say, you're not getting away with this shit, basically. Um, and you're not coming back in the team until you at the very least, yeah, apologize for your public outburst. So and I think he's probably got to stick to that. So I guess Salah shouldn't come into the team this weekend unless that has happened, right? Because at this point, something's got to give, right? It's stick or twist. You can't drop him for one game and say, okay, fine, you're going to be back in the team now. If that was your stance, that you're not coming back into this team until you apologize, yeah, you stay out of the team until you do just that. So it's for me, it's interesting to see what happens, like who sticks, who twists, and if it means that Salah doesn't play again for the club, then that's what it means. But Salah's the kind of guy who strikes me not to want to apologize. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Hmm. Well, I'm here for it because it's proving me right. Poor man management. You
But
guys enjoyed.
But hold on, but do you think it's that? Like, I think there's a form of saying poor man management would be continuing to play him despite how bad he's playing. You see what I'm saying, Laurent, too? Like, if,
Mm,
like you're not managing the play, if you're continuing to play a guy, some would say, and look at the players. Is that good for the dynamic of the dressing room? There's this player who, just because of what he's done in the past, you perform well in the past. Yes, I get it, blah, blah, blah. But you continue to stay in the team even though you're probably playing one of the worst in the team, right? His performances have been that bad. He's been one of the worst attacking players, anonymous at times. Um, it's like that thing with your girlfriend or your ex girlfriend, not your ex girlfriend, like your current girlfriend. It's like your girl. You take a girl out. You took her out 2 years ago to the Ritz Carlton. You had a nice bed and breakfast kind of situation, and that was 2 birthdays ago. But this birthday in 2025, her birthday is this year. And all you did for her this year was give her maybe like a bottle of wine and a handshake and call it a day. It's like, okay, well, that's great. Thank you for giving me that. But what have you done for me lately? Why? What? Yeah, 2 years ago you took me to the Ritz and it was nice, but what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? Like I appreciated it at the time, but that was 2 years ago. You can't just say, "Hey, baby, yeah, but remember that day I took you on 2 years ago? We went to the Ritz. We did this and that. We did the most. Had a nice vacation. Yeah, man, that was in the past. That was nice. But like, what are you doing? What have you done for me lately? What are you doing for me today?
Yeah, but I think
You know?
it's quite recent what Salah did. Like Salah's his 47 goal assist contributions is the reason why Liverpool won. Every time last year that they needed a goal, who scored?
Yeah,
Salah.
I agree.
Who was
But
the one?
but
I hear your point, but I think the other part is like why like yes, I understand that they don't have any defensive backup players, but someone like McAllister, right? Like this past weekend is the first time that McAllister didn't start, even though he's been shit as well. Why isn't Curtis Jones getting a run of form? Right?
I wouldn't say that. No, McAllister's been out of the. This wasn't the first time he hasn't started. McAllister's been out of the team, and he's been getting pulled off and getting dragged when he's been playing poor. The only people that I think have been playing despite poor form are Konate and Van Dijk. And guess what? That's because they literally have no other fucking defenders or center backs really. Um, I think in Salah's case, I think it's more so. Again, time waits for no man. So here's why you're saying what Salah did was fresh and it was recent. It was just last season, but time waits for no man. Look at the position that Liverpool is in the league, right? As a coach, you can't continue to just hope for the best when you're now where are they? 10th, 8th? I don't even know where they are in
11th.
the league. You know what I mean? Like you cannot. Time waits for no man, and in this job, it's a ruthless job. It's a ruthless business. You can't just continue to hang on merit and say, yeah, what you did for me last season was nice, but whilst I'm going to keep sliding down the league, I'm going to wait for you to get in form. It's funny, same thing with my FPL. I had Salah in my FPL up until like game week 12. I said, fuck this, man. I'm not going to continue to rely on this guy to get me points. I took him out my team. I said, fuck this. This guy's not doing the business, man. You're costing me points here. Like, fuck. I don't know, bro. Laurent, like, again, we touched on this last podcast, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think? I think it's just principle. It's just principle. There's only so much your weight and what you did for me in the past can carry you. If the present and the here and now, it's a results based business. I need results like now. And look where they are. It's not going to be a good look for him in the media where it's like, okay, you're sitting in December and you're what 10, 12, whatever points you are off the top of the league. You're mid table after you spent the most money in the league. Either narrative is not going to look good for him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think on both fronts in regards to the merit aspect, where right, I think I alluded to this earlier in the pod, but essentially, right, you have to keep performing, and I think that's irrespective. I think of who you are, right? Even if you're Messi, right? You performed what was it like 100 near almost 100 goals one season,
Yeah.
right? The following season, you're not putting up the numbers, right? Um, Again, suddenly it's like, well, are you the same player, right? And usually that's what happens, right? You hear of players who have phenomenal seasons, and
Mm-hmm.
then the season right after, it's right they dropped off, right? The performance, the level, is not there, right? And I mentioned this last pod, which is to me, I think is more so surprising because I would expect a player like him, right, at that caliber, you almost take pride in your performance and in earning your place at all times. Um, right? So it's like if you're not well, for one, the manager gave you enough time when the season started, because there were a couple games where he just kept starting and starting and starting, and he was not putting up numbers or doing anything productive, right? And he was given a chance. So right on the merit side, I agree. And also in terms of the game management side of things, I do agree with the point you make where from Arne Slot's point of view, right? It is a form of player management, right? In taking that decision. Because let's be real, I think there's a lot of managers out there that wouldn't have the backbone to do
Hmm.
what he did, right? Wink, wink, Graham Potter, maybe would have kept Salah playing for, you know, shit until like AFCON is literally like tomorrow kind of thing, right? So yeah, because it actually, I think it does take, you have to be brave, right? For one, because you're dealing with the fans as well, right? There's a certain image that that player has with the fan base, and suddenly if you're not playing him, well, the fans start asking questions, um, and all sorts of people, right? Start asking all sorts of questions when a player of that caliber just isn't starting anymore, right? So it's a tough decision, and he's shown that, mate, he has the ability to make those decisions, right? So.
Hmm.
It seems like the players are, sorry, not the players. It seems like the fans are also still sort of on board with Arne Slot at the moment too. The Liverpool
Mm,
fans,
mm.
Yeah.
like chanting his name in the stadiums and stuff. So it seems like all around he's being supported in his decisions.
Well, a coach that always gets supported by his decisions, Pep Guardiola and City, the robots, this resurgence of the robots. They go into Madrid, they win 2-1. Second half was a little disappointing because Madrid had many chances, but they just couldn't put it away. Um, Bellingham had an unreal chance.
Oh, I saw that the chip, right?
Yeah, the chip, and he
I
could
don't
have
know
just
what he
passed
was
it
doing.
across.
Yeah.
Vinny with the header. Um,
How do you guys
so
feel about those kind of chances? Where, let's be real, either the player doesn't see the option or he sees it, but it's the ego that takes over. It's like,
Oh,
I'm bearing the
you're an
risk.
idiot. If you're an idiot.
Mm,
You're an idiot. If you're up 3-1, 4-1, and you want to go for it, by all means. But if you're down, you go for the higher probability. And the higher
mm,
probability is you square it.
Hmm.
like a sweaty. Hey, you're the type A on FIFA? Sweaty goals.
It's jokes.
um well, moving on. I hate you, bro. Um Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe and Newcastle, they dropped 2 points late, and um, they gave up a goal to Grimaldo as they drew 2-2 to Leverkusen. Do you guys think that it was one eye on Sunderland that caused them to switch off? Or do you think Leverkusen just. Because, again, I didn't watch the entire game, I watched the highlights, and I think they just switched off.
Mm.
Because they have a big derby. They have a huge derby coming up on Sunday, I believe.
I mean, for on one end, I don't even know if Newcastle just has that in them to be consistent, right? To be able to manage games like that. Um, for one in the league, I think they're bottom half, no?
In the league,
Uh,
yes, they are.
yeah.
They're
So
12th place, and Sunderland is ninth.
yeah, yeah. So even when you say switch off, it's like to me, it's one of those things expected. Even if that game wasn't there, right? I don't know. There's something about them that it's almost like they can run like the first half, but then they run out of steam, and yeah, like you say, they kind of switch off, right? So yeah.
Well, coming to the Premier League, so we can get this pot out for the fans. Liverpool, we quickly teased it. They host Brighton. I guess the real big question is, you know, Salah was dropped out of the squad for the game against Inter. Um, quick question for you both: does Salah make the squad? Yes or no?
I want to say no.
I'm gonna say no as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, Yeah, so you might as well like tell those family members of his to not even make the trip.
Fucking savage. Fucking savage. Well, we're gonna find out because I'm curious to see the pre-match presser to see what Arne Slot says.
It's actually true, eh, Laurent? That's a good point. Because if you're on his slot and you're still pissed about what Salah did and how he did it, one thing you can do if you're being really petty is like, okay, well, you made this whole announcement about how you're going to tell your family and thing, whatever, that this is going to be my last game and this is my way to say goodbye. It's like, shit, yeah, to your point. All right, bro, that's what you're gonna do. Don't even tell anyone to fly over for the game because you're just not in the squad wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? So there goes your farewell tour. It's not about you.
Mm,
You know?
ouch. Yeah, that one would sting, bro. If I was Salah, yeah, that sting, bro. But
Hmm.
it is what it is, you know. Like I think yeah, he dug his own grave with that.
You made your bed, sleep in it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
If you're a betting man, I would bet that Salah is gonna be top three for the gold race in AFCON because I think he's gonna go on a fucking tear.
Probably, actually, yeah. That's a good point.
Really?
Yeah, he'll use the AFCON as a way to show every man like, yo, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Which might piss off Liverpool fans even more. It's like, yo, you haven't showed up,
But listen,
all
so
season.
I mean, hey, give me your keep trusting in me. 47 goals and assists. You almost beat Thierry Henry's record. Mm, He's helped them win everything. Anything
So
that
hold on,
Liverpool.
actually. Yeah, sorry. So hold on, actually. Just hearing you talk at the moment about this. If you're on a slot, would you have kept playing him? It sounds like that's where you're leading on. Would you have kept
100%.
playing him?
100%. I would have
Really?
kept. I
You'd
would.
still to this day you would have
I
still been
I
starting him.
would have kept playing him, and I would have tried to figure out a system to get. If I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win with
With
my
Salah.
world class players, and if my world class players are Bukayo Saka, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, I need to figure out the best system to get my best players on the field.
Hmm.
If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging with my best players.
Yeah, but you gotta expect your players to swing too. You know what I mean? Like, and
Hmm.
it didn't look like he was doing much. Like, that's to me what it's one thing if like it's and let's be real, right? It's you can have poor games, right? Even at level, you can have you know, like not be in a rut per se, right? But there's a certain level of effort and right? And again, and that's why I appreciate like when when you mention a player like Martinelli because bro, if that guy's not giving it to you on the offensive end, you can bet that on the defensive, he is there,
Hmm.
right? But a guy like Salah, bro, come on, bro. He thinks he's
Hmm.
like whatever Egyptian god, right? Like,
Yeah, but that's the way Liverpool have played with them ever since Slot was Klopp was there, right?
Yeah, but
Now that
to
he doesn't
Laurent's
have that.
point,
Oh, sorry.
to Laurent's point though, that's okay. That's okay. If you're not going to defend and you don't want to defend and do that work right, then you better be producing on the other end.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now,
yeah.
if you're not producing on the other end, then you're just irrelevant in the game completely.
Yeah, but then
For
that
and
comes down to
yo,
coaching to be like, okay,
no,
how,
not necessarily, man. I think it actually comes down to a player because at times two players have to understand sometimes the best way to get you into a game is defensively. Right? Like it truly is, right? Like you defend and you win the ball back, and suddenly it's
Hmm.
almost you like you're building confidence, right? It's one win after the other, you're stacking it up, and then now like you're back in form, right? You're beating your
hmm.
opponents, right? But if the player, the coach can't like I can't coach that, right? Like even if I tell you if you're on that pitch and you're not even having the desire to even want to do that, like
Hmm.
bro, the coach can only do so much, right? So
Hmm. Chelsea. All right, Laurent, are you guys gonna win a game against Everton? I know we're predicting this, but what say you? Gun to your head. Here
I
comes
mean,
a
okay,
nah. I think we're gonna draw.
this one's at home. I know
Yeah,
this one's at home.
it's at the
And
bridge.
yes, Palmer
I'm
will be
proud of you
starting.
for knowing that it's at home.
Hmm.
Good job, bravo.
Thank you, thank you. I actually just checked it with yeah, but
Oh my God. Yo, CJ, do you know the next four games for Arsenal where we play?
Yeah, actually, I think I do.
What's our next game?
So we're at home to Wolves, 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday.
Okay.
Everyone will be there.
Where are we next?
Everton away, I believe.
And then where are we after that?
So next weekend's the 20th, and then after that is Palace, I believe, in the cup.
You're missing one game before that. That's the
Who's
23rd Palace. You're missing the weekend game.
we play on? Yeah, we play Everton, don't we? On the weekend.
No, we play Everton midweek.
No, Everton's a weekend. Everton's Saturday, next Saturday.
So then when do we play Brighton? We play Brighton before we play.
I believe it's no, I think Villa is after Palace. So I think it's actually Wolves at home next, then
Oh yeah,
Everton
it is
away,
Wolves,
then
Everton, Palace,
Palace,
Brighton,
then Villa. Oh, sorry, then
Brighton, Villa. Yeah.
Brighton, then Villa. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, so yeah,
Anyway,
what was the point of all this
no, no.
exercise?
I just
What,
want. I
what are you
just
trying to
you
what are you
know. I
trying to
just wanted to. I just wanted to. Just let you know what true fans.
Right, right. Because I mean, I can tell you too, right? We're playing Cardiff away, after our Everton game,
Why?
right?
Because you
And
just
then,
looked. You just looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
sorry?
get fuck out of here. You just looked. You're trying to do your homework while we're talking, bro. Fuck out of here, bro. Anyways, let's keep it moving. Let's keep this moving. Let's keep the train moving. This fake Chelsea fan. Oh, I didn't know the Nike store downtown doesn't sell Chelsea kits. Man knew from fucking August of last year that this game was gonna happen. Fucking this guy. Um, Burnley. Burnley, bottom feeding Burnley. They host Fulham. Honestly, I don't even know what to think for this game. Fulham should get a result, but crazier things have happened, and it's at the Turf Moor. So if Burnley win, they drag Fulham into a relegation race, and if Fulham win, Burnley's pretty much fucked, for lack of a better word. Um, Mr. Stronger, Arsenal Wolves. You see my expected lineup. White, Timber, and Capier, MLS, Odegaard, Norgard, Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Wanyeri. That's what I got. And, like I don't even want to talk too much about this game. This game is 3 points in the bag.
Mm. You're heavy on the rotation on this one, eh?
Heavy on the rotator. Well, MLS has to come in. Timber's gonna slide back in. And then I would love to see Norgard play and no Rice. I don't want to see Rice.
Mm. I think the only big thing to talk about in this one with regards to your lineup selection is should we be worried about Saliba? Like, what the hell's going on there? Where is he? If we have to play another game with that back four, and don't get me wrong, we can get the job done against Wolves with that back four. My bigger concern would be where's Saliba? Or if we have to play that back four because Saliba is being rested, no problem. If we have to play that back four because Saliba is still injured, I mean, shit, what the hell's going on? Like, this is getting to be a concern for me.
Yeah. Because I want him back at least for the the Brighton game at a bare minimum.
Or Everton. Everton away is going to be tough. They're fifth in the league at the moment.
Yeah. Seventh.
Um,
Seventh.
are they seventh now? Okay, they
Seventh.
dropped. Yeah.
I mean, they will be top four after they beat Chelsea this week. So
Giving us
That
an
is funny.
indication of your early prediction.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Just like my Wolves prediction, huh?
Yeah, yeah, man. Just come on, freebies, bro. Freebies all around.
Hey, listen, you definitely need freebies, my guy. You're still in last place.
Mm.
So
Yeah, come on, give us some context, right?
what?
I mean, because last place can mean right. How many points off?
You're
Are you
one
sure
point
you want to
off.
be giving? So are you sure you want to be giving freebies this time of the season?
100%. Because when
All right,
when the fat lady sings, you will be at the bottom. Don't worry.
all right.
West Ham. I mean, CJ, there isn't really much else to say, right? Just we're gonna win.
The Arsenal game, no. It's just a matter of how many are we going to win by.
Um,
If we don't pick up 3 points in this game, the next podcast is lock off. I'm telling you that now.
Is
It's
what?
canceled. Lock off. Canceled. Don't even bother
No,
showing up. We're not showing up on this pod if Arsenal loses to Wolves. But it's not happening, right? So we're
what
good.
if you tie though? What if you tie? What happens then?
fuck, I'm not showing up.
That's just as bad. That's a horrible result.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, I seen them play. I was actually watching that game versus a Man U, and that was bad, bro. Like, yeah, they picked us, but that was such a bad performance. I don't think
The
I've ever
coach
seen.
said it too. Didn't the coach say it as well? I heard the coach say something like it's like watching men versus boys, and he's talking about his own team.
Oh shit. Well, then I don't know. I'm hoping that that was a write-off. They don't usually play this way. But funny enough, they have the record to kind of indicate that yeah, they probably do play that way. Um, but yeah, because if that's shit,
It was bad, eh?
yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
bad.
no, it
It
was
was bad.
bad, bro. Terrible.
Wow.
Another team that's been putting up subpar performances, West Ham. They're hosting high flying Villa at London Stadium. Do we think Nuno Espirito Santos does anything this game, or is it because again Villa played? We're recording this Thursday night. Villa did play today.
They
They're
won, I
gonna
believe.
have short rest.
They did look like they had a bit of rotation going on though, Villa.
Yeah,
Um,
they did. They played the only one. I mean, they had to bring on Tielemans, Watkins, Rogers,
mhm,
Kamara, McGinn because they had to come back to win the game.
mhm.
But
But they came later on, right? I think
no,
late.
they played the full second half.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So yes, I mean, again, it's only 45 minutes, but like, yes, West Ham doesn't have the greatest record right now, but that's a quick turnaround.
Mm.
And they're the early game on Sunday. It's not like they're the late game. So we'll see. I mean, I think Villa should take care of business, but crazier things have happened in these type of games. So I'm curious to see how that works. Um, the big game of the weekend, the Tyne-Wear Derby, back. Sunderland hosts Newcastle. Like literally form is out of the question for this game. It's like the North London Derby. I don't want to talk too much about it because we are going to predict this game, but what I will say about this is the midfields are going to be key in this game, and I think knowing the way that Newcastle can lose their head, I unfortunately think there is a red card in this game, and I think it's going to ruin the game completely. I hope there isn't. I hope it's 11 on 11. I hope there's, good tackles. There's going to be yellow cards, but I have a feeling that there is going to be a red card in this game because that Stadium of Light is going to be bouncing. And I don't know about you two. I am fully focused on watching this game. Like I want to see what happens in this game because it's going to have huge implications on um, is Eddie Howe going to stick around? Is Sunderland going to keep pushing to be at the top half of the table? There's a lot of implications in this game. Um, so I don't know if you guys want to add anything else to it. I don't want to give away what my prediction is, um, but I think there's a lot of implications in this game.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna comment too much on it. But yeah, no, it should be a good game, even for where they're both positioned in the table. And yeah, I mean, I think Sunderland they had the rest, right?
Correct. The entire week.
Mm,
Like I just wish this game was like the 11:30 game on 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Sunday rather than a 9 a.m. because there's
mhm.
three other games going on, so I don't think it would get the full attention it deserves. I'm only going to be tuning in for that game. Like I'm not tuning into the other games. I don't give a shit about the other games. Like this is the
Mm.
only game that matters on Sunday. CJ, did you want to add anything?
Not really, not much to say. I mean, yeah, I agree. It's a very massive game, and I think one for good for the neutral. So I'm gonna try and plug into that one for sure as well. Like key battles, as you said, I think Xhaka versus Bruno Guimaraes in midfield. So that's a big key battle.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And Dan Ballard on those set pieces, like we saw what he did
Yeah,
against us. And I think he's going to be key for them as well.
Dan Ballard versus Dan Burn on set pieces. Man, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be pretty sick to see.
Um, Forest. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track of Forest in Europa League. Um, they Like ever since Sean Dyche has taken over, they've been winning. They're sitting in 11th now in Europa League. Like they're doing pretty well, and they host Spurs, which again, Spurs away form is really good. They're coming off back-to-back wins. Who knows? Sean Dyche needs to get a win in the Premier League because they're 2 points off the relegation spots and sitting in 17th place. So
And the goal difference is tight.
yeah, it's only one. It's
Yeah.
three difference between Burnley, um, Forest, and even Leeds. So points matter. Points matter a lot. Unfortunately, I think Spurs are just going to be too much. As much as I hate to say it, I think they're going to be too much. And the fact that Spurs are going to have extra rest, I think it's going to be too much. But again, the Spurs are Spurs. Like these are the type of games that Spurs lose. So we shall see. Um, Last two games to go through. Brentford hosts Leeds at the G-Tech Stadium. If Brentford does lose, they can get close to a relegation battle. Currently, they're sitting in 14th on 19 points, which is crazy to think because Brentford have put on some good performances, but they have 8 losses. Like when I was looking at the table, 8 losses. They have the same amount of losses as Fulham, Leeds, Forest, and West Ham. I did not expect that when I was looking at the table. So it's going to be interesting, and we're going to see if Igor Thiago. I don't know, CJ. Did you triple captain him this weekend?
Thiago?
Oh no, you already wasted it on Holland.
Bro, I'm sticking with Holland. Who do they got this week? Actually, no, they have Palace. That's a tough game. But man, you can't take any captaincy off Holland, man. That guy's guaranteeing you points at the moment.
Hmm. Um. And okay, the one question I have. Well, they're facing Palace, Man City. Um, Oliver Glasner's trying to look to see if they can get back in. They can maintain the fourth spot. Like, do we? I know we're talking about Villa being in the title race. Are Palace in the title race?
No.
If they win this game, they go on 29 points. No way.
Mathematically, but like no, like long term, no.
And City's been winning. Like I know Holland scored against Madrid, but prior to that, Holland hadn't been scoring. Like it was more Phil Foden, Cherky, Doku, and co scoring. So it's kind of like I don't know about you, CJ, but I'm a little worried.
Oh yeah? Oh, I didn't expect you to say that.
I'm a little worried. I'm a little, just a little worried. So I'm definitely a Palace fan this weekend. I'm
Yeah.
rooting for Palace
That would have
to.
been a good game to actually predict. Look, they can do something for sure, they can do something. But I think that City result midweek in the Champions League caught us all off guard, I guess. I mean, none of us predicted City to win, but
No.
it was a big win for them. And they could kick on. But Villa won today as well, convincingly in their game.
I
Um,
wouldn't say convincingly. two
wasn't it
one.
3-0?
No, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
No,
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 sorry, Villa. Sorry, Palace. Didn't Palace win
Palace.
3-0 today?
Oh, okay, Yeah, okay,
Did I say Villa?
okay. Yeah, you said Villa. Sorry, I was like,
Sorry.
yeah, no, no. They
No.
beat Shelburne 3-0.
Yeah, so Palace winning convincingly in their game today, albeit again they have less rest slightly than what City have. But both teams are going to go into that game in good form off the back of two midweek wins. Selhurst Park is going to be difficult. Right, if this was at home at the Etihad for City, I would say City would have the edge. But I think the Selhurst Park factor, I think they'll help get the team over the line. So we're hoping and praying that they get something, man. Even a draw would
A
do us
draw would
well, right?
be good. Yeah, draw would
Yeah.
be good too. Now, okay, last game, Manchester United Bournemouth. Is this is this the FA trying to help Manchester United? Because if you look at the last few weeks, Manchester United have been playing Monday nights or Thursdays. Like they've had the most friendliest schedule and the longest rest between games, the longest, like is this is this the FA trying to help United? Because it's bullshit. It's literally bullshit. And they're not. It's not like they're putting up trees. They're aside from the last game that they beat Wolves 4-1, they've been struggling. And now they welcome Bournemouth, Anton Semenyo. I think this is his last game prior to going to AFCON. Like, I don't know if you guys look at it the same way that I do, but it's kind of bullshit how United are getting like the what's it called, the princess treatment, to be like, oh yeah, you guys can play for the most rest, and MRM you can get as much time to work on with your players and stuff.
Well, I think the
Wait,
most
wait, wait.
resting.
How's he? Wait, sorry. How's he getting that treatment exactly? Or how are they getting that treatment?
Well, the FA's like they're playing Monday night, so they're having extra time. They're having the full week, whereas like a lot of other teams that potentially would play Monday night, they're playing
Oh,
Saturday, but it's
wait,
like they're getting the full week,
wait. I
even
don't
though
get
they
it. Aren't these schedules like predetermined before the season even starts?
yes, but it was also predetermined before the season starts that Manchester United don't play midweek.
Oh, and this wasn't like it was. It's not randomized like the way these schedules come out, right?
I mean, I
Or
would
the
assume so. It should be randomized, quote unquote.
mm,
But like,
right,
you know
right.
that United is not playing midweek, so you want to
Mm,
like. It's almost like they want to capitalize on the entertainment, the media aspect, the the viewership to say, okay, we're gonna have United on Monday where there's no other games and all eyes can be on United. But also,
mm,
you, in my eyes, you're also giving that team an advantage because if they're facing a team that played Thursday night,
right,
United has an extra 3 days to rest.
right, right. Damn, and no other clubs that complain about this?
Again, I might be reading into it, but if
Mm.
you look at it, like they're getting a lot of grace with the schedule.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I think and I mean, for one, it's definitely a plus for Amarin, and I know he's taking advantage of that. One of the things he did mention actually was the fact that because when he first started out, his system right wasn't working,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't trust in the system, and then he said, well, I need more time on the training pitch, right, with my players. So for him, this is like
Gold.
yeah, this is gold. This is gold, and I think I don't know. You might be onto something, right? It's just for me, like I didn't for one, I didn't even realize that this was happening until you literally just brought it up.
Yeah, because I was
Um,
looking at the last three
mhm,
like matches, right? Like I'm like, okay, so they played Monday night
mhm,
against Wolves. They're playing Monday again this week. Then they last time they played Thursday because that was when everyone played midweek.
mm,
Prior to that, they played on the Saturday. Sorry, they played on the Sunday.
mm.
And then the 24th of November was what? 24th, I believe, was, let's see, the 24th was a Monday again.
Yeah, that was a Monday.
Like, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm looking into it too much.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. I mean, if no one's saying anything, then well, damn. Um, which is to me is pretty surprising because usually these are the types of things I think clubs would complain about if other teams are getting that extra rest here and there.
Or at least just rotate it. Like, if everyone gets a Monday night game, obviously teams that are playing midweek, obviously they can't, but like all the
Mm,
other teams, they should be able to kind of get a little bit of a rotation. So,
right, right.
coming to the predictions leaderboard, I predicted Wolves. They let me down. So Laurent caught up.
Bro,
He's
you
at
say that
35
like you're
points.
stop saying it like they let you down, like you're surprised, like you expecting anything other than what the result was.
I
That's,
I did not expect a 4-1. No.
I mean, a 1-0, I think, you know what I mean? Like, just, bro, everyone, how did, I know, listen, I know your hatred for Man United or whatever that thing is led you to making that prediction.
No, if I would go with that, but
Damn. All right.
um, so CJ and I are tied on 36 points. Laurent's on 35.
Mm.
Arsenal Wolves. Do you guys want to keep it or do you guys want to put the City game in here? Because we're
Oof.
all gonna we're all gonna predict Wolves unless you're gonna go for your hatred for Arsenal.
Yeah, man, I might pull a Murdat on this one, you know?
Go ahead. I mean, you want to give freebies?
Yeah. Fuck no, bro. Yeah, honestly, I think we're all gonna say Arsenal on this.
So you guys want to do City Palace?
It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys.
CJ?
Um, yeah, I guess similar to you guys. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, for the sake of, I guess, being consistent, probably shouldn't keep taking out Arsenal games every week. I know we did say we're going to keep an Arsenal and Chelsea week in, week out. So there is always technically supposed to be one wild card game.
So do
So,
you
I
guys
mean,
want to do a fourth and add the Palace City game?
here, let's just be consistent. Not to confuse ourselves, the viewers, week in, week out. Guys, we're going to stick with 3 games, week in, week out. Arsenal, Chelsea, and then one other wild card. I promise on my end, I'm not going to add any more questions about a fourth or swapping games in and out.
Yeah, bro. Just
That's
wait
it.
until you're third place, and then you start begging for scraps, bro, to get points left and right. You know what I mean? Like it's
Is that what you're trying to do? If that, hey, you sound like you're onto something there, fam. If you need help and you want us to, help out
no,
the
no.
less fortunate. It is Christmas
I'm
season,
good.
bro.
I,
We're
I
giving.
I I know by next week on the next episode, bro, my position is going to change. That I know. That I know, bro. So
Well,
now
Chelsea Everton, who you got?
I got Chelsea.
Chelsea. I got draw.
Mm, that's fair.
Ooh,
Chelsea. Chelsea.
ooh. I didn't know we were starting with this one. This is a tough one
Well,
here.
I mean, Arsenal Wolves. We're fucking. Everyone said Arsenal.
We're just
So.
locked in, eh? Yeah, yeah. All right. Ooh. Mm. Chelsea needs to bounce back, man. Winless in 4. Hmm.
Everton do travel well.
They do.
They do.
Chelsea.
I'm gonna go.
Chelsea.
I'm actually gonna go Chelsea and give them the benefit of the doubt.
Wow!
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah,
fuck off, bro.
go.
Fuck
yeah,
off, bro. You
Oh,
balling, bro. Are you serious?
let's
yeah.
go.
Well,
Are you
yo, are
fucking
you okay?
serious?
Why
No,
are
I'm
you
not
cheesed
okay,
that I
bro.
picked Chelsea
Now I'm
to
fucking
win?
triggered, bro. What the fuck? Bro, like just pick anything other than what I pick, bro. Like why you gotta keep doing this week in, week out? You keep doing that. Like it's like you're trying to block me from you see what I'm saying?
Let's
Fam,
go,
you
son.
literally last week you
No, no, no.
told me
Our
that you
predictions
you
have
said
been the
predict what
same.
you want to predict.
Our
So why?
prediction our predictions have been the same
Yeah, so then
consistently for
maybe
the
we're just intelligent guys that predict, like, you know what I mean? We see the game a
fuck
certain
that.
way.
No, bro. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, bro. Keep doing that. Keep doing that,
Wow,
bro.
look at this guy. This guy's
Keep
cheesed.
keep doing that. Keep doing that. All right, now I'm gonna say Newcastle. I'm gonna
Okay.
say Newcastle.
No.
Sunderland.
Oh, really? You genuinely think Sunderland?
100%. Extra rest, more time to prepare. 100%. If it was in St. James's Park, maybe not. It's at the Stadium of Light. That stadium's gonna be fucking pouncing.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, a man like me is gonna say,
Draw.
hmm.
That's what you're gonna say.
A
I
draw
already
is
wrote.
a fair result.
That's what I already written down for CJ because I know.
Yeah, I'll take a draw.
Nah, you're locked in as Newcastle, dog.
No,
Don't
I know I'm
even.
not gonna, but I'll take a draw for CJ. I'll take a draw.
Oh, you're changing from Newcastle to draw?
No. I'm locked in with mine. But I'm saying for CJ, yeah, I'll take that draw.
Oh. Yeah,
'Cause
Hmm.
ain't no way you're saying Newcastle.
I
Yeah,
really
because
gotta start playing the
I
Jeopardy
genuinely
music.
don't think Newcastle is gonna win. Is that okay?
All right, good. That's good.
Um, but just to piss off Laurent, I'll go Newcastle.
Actually,
No, he's not being serious, man. Just leave
No,
him.
no, no. I don't
Yeah,
want him to cry, fam. He's getting upset. So I'll just go. Yeah, this is fucking hard to call, man.
go for the trifecta, bro.
I'm gonna go. This is tough. I'm gonna go. Mm. Yo, fam, this is crazy. I'm gonna go.
I really got to put the Jeopardy music over this. This is fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna go draw. Yeah, I'll go draw.
See,
Mm.
I called it. I
Yeah,
fucking
I'm gonna go
called
draw.
it. All right. Well, fellas, 65 episodes in. Can you believe it? 60 fucking 5. Um,
Yeah, that's a milestone.
it's a milestone. It's a milestone that I don't think I
Here
don't
goes with the Chelsea reference. Look at that. He's digging deep into the mental reservoir to find a link between 6-5 and Chelsea, and what they haven't
I don't think
accomplished yet.
Chelsea gets 65 points in the Prem this season.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Oh
Uh,
shit, bro.
that's crazy, bro. It's actually crazy how like now I know when you know what I mean? Like you don't even have to I can just tell. Like I can see you thinking
Listen, you
like
guys got 69 points last year. I do not think you get 65. Do you
man,
think you're getting 20 wins?
it's like you said, bro. The fat lady, right?
There's
When she
no,
starts
you are not getting another 13 wins. Do you think you guys get 20 wins?
Wait, how many games are left in hold on, let me check the table
You've played 15.
here.
There's 23 games left. You guys get another 13 wins. Remember, you got to face Arsenal. You got to face United. You got to face
They have to play
Villa.
City twice, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all have had a fortunate
I don't
schedule so
think you
far.
guys get 65 points, bro. I'm being dead serious.
Wait, so there's 23 games left.
You need 40 points. I don't think you guys do it. Like, I'm not being a hater. I genuinely don't think you guys do it. You want to make a bet?
Hmm. What did City get in terms of points last season?
City got 71,
Mm. I mean Liverpool?
84.
Hmm.
Don't think too hard.
There's 23 games left, eh? Yeah, I'll fold on that.
From
I'll fold.
Centurion to barely getting 65. Oh,
uh,
I think that's the best way to end the pod. From fucking Centurion to barely getting 65. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Any last words, Laurent?
Well, I mean, still other cup competitions, you know.
Oh,
We'll find a way to get a trophy, is what I'm saying. So, don't get excited just yet, right? And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone that's tuned in thus far. Make sure to like and subscribe, and to catch us on the next pod, right? Well, we'll have even more content for you guys, and up the Chels forever and always.